that have been genocided and buried in time that we are unaware of that believed the same thing. Or knew, rather. These are just the ones we know about. The Sumerians' mythology says that a primeval sea existed before anything else and that the heaven and the earth were formed within it. The boundary between the primeval sea and the earth, a flat disk, was a solid vault, within which was a gas-like atmosphere. The stars, planets, sun, and moon were embedded in this solid vault. The Greek philosopher Anaximenes described the heavens as like a felt cap that turned on its head, with the stars fixed to the surface like nails. Flavius Josephus wrote about the earth being surrounded by a crystalline firmament. After this, on the second day, he placed the heaven over the whole world and separated it from the other parts, and he determined it should stand by itself. He also placed a crystalline firmament around it, and put it together in a manner agreeable to the earth, and fitted it for giving moisture and rain, and affording the advantage of dews. That's from the book Antiquities of the Jews. The people from all regions of earth knew what this place looked like and the nature of things within. It's not only the Bible that supports this information, but it certainly does. Genesis 1:6-8 says, "And God said, Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven." Job 37:18 says, "Can you, with him, spread out the skies, strong as a molten mirror?" Sounds like a solid structure to me. Amos 9:6, "The one who builds his upper chambers in the heavens, and has founded his vaulted dome over the earth, he who calls for the waters of the sea and pours them out on the face of the earth, the Lord is his name, and has founded his vaulted dome over the earth." There's really no other way to interpret that. The Quran supports flat earth. Let's read a little passage here. "Who made the earth for you a carpet, and the sky a structure, and sent down from the sky water, then brought forth thereby some fruits as provision for you. So make not equals to God, and you know." 2:22 from the Quran. And on with the ancient writings and texts that you can still find. There have been things that have been deleted and erased from history. Everything up until the 1500s when the Jesuits began pushing heliocentrism. This isn't just some primitive idiocy where the ancients were too stupid to figure out that the earth was a spinning ball. They had it down packed, and it was the truth then, and it's the truth now. It's the reason why NASA had to pretend like they lost the technology to supposedly go back to the moon.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
And why they always say that they can't leave low Earth orbit.
Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go.
The kinds of technologies that we're testing out on space station are definitely helping us with our goals of going beyond low Earth orbit.
It's the reason that scientist Michio Kaku says things like this.
Usually in science, if we're off by a factor of 2 or a factor of 10, we call that horrible. We say something's wrong with the theory. We're off by a factor of 10. However, in cosmology, we're off by a factor of 10 to the 120. That is 1 with 120 zeros after it. This is the largest mismatch between theory and experiment in the history of science.
Back to the domed set of the Goyim show, the Truman Show. One day, Truman is walking outside to go to work, and a stage light that serves as a fake star falls from the mini-dome that he lives in. The light is labeled Sirius 9 Canis Major. Sirius is a real star. It's a binary star, known as the dog star and the brightest star in the night sky. This was a very important luminary to the ancients, and to this day remains a very significant, if not the most significant star to Freemasonry and the occult in general. In a book called Morals and Dogma, 33rd degree Freemason Albert Pike wrote, "The blazing star in our lodges, we have already said, represents Sirius." A guy filling up the ocean? Ridiculous. You can trace the rays of the sun to its source to see that it's close. If it was 93 million miles away, you wouldn't be able to do this. And the moon is at a similar distance. It's not 238,000 miles away. 5 years ago, I would have thought someone that is saying these things that I am saying now would belong in an insane asylum. After years of research, it's become painfully obvious that this is all too real. Anyway, The Truman Show is very telling, and it's funny how the logo for The Truman Show has the NASA blue marble in it. Gives away the fact that the false spinning globe model is merely a prison for your mind. There's a deleted scene from The Truman Show that is of great interest for Flat Earth, and I'll roll it right now.
Personally, I think the unconquered south face is the only one worth scaling. It's a 20,000-foot sheer wall of ice, but that's never stopped me before. Risk? Of course I'm aware of the risks. Thank you for your concern.
Don't you find it strange that in this movie that already contains major in-your-face symbolism for Flat Earth, that they even considered doing a scene like that, talking about ice walls? In the most accepted Flat Earth model, Antarctica is not a continent like it is on the bottom of the false globe model, but it's a massive ring of ice that holds everything we know of within. These walls are nearly 200 feet high, and when you do your research, are more plausible than you first think. Admiral Richard E. Byrd completed many missions to do with Antarctica. Some of them included names like Operation High Jump or Operation Deep Freeze. High Jump because the walls are huge and it would have been quite the task to get up there. Also, this reminds me of a Jacques Cousteau documentary called Voyage to the Edge of the World. That's about going to Antarctica.